welcome to the DGRN Podcast, number 5. I'm right now in Phoenix Raceway, here for the race early. Track is open for anybody to do things, so we've seen a couple people as early as I think Saturday go at the track and have fun, I guess. I got a bunch of things to say first before I get into the actual meat of what is going on. So yeah, let's start with. I guess we'll start with Bush to an extent. Bush was mostly okay. And by okay, I mean like nothing really insane was really going on. I mean, you could maybe say like, oh well, this guy was doing things to this guy, where so and so doesn't look that good. You know, what have you, or whatever. I think most of Bushfield behaved-ish for the most part. There were some moments, but mostly people behaved. Cup, on the other hand, that's gonna be annoying because I'm gonna have this all up in my ear. That's actually it's fine. I'll listen to what the cup cards sound like. Cup fields. Holy, I'm gonna bleep myself a little bit, but holy cow, dude. Y'all are. What are we doing? What are we doing in Cup, y'all? The Bush races so far have been 3 for 3 over 9s. I can't say the same for Cup because only the 500 has a 9. Las Vegas had an 8 and when it should have been a 9. And Atlanta was just all types of wild. So I'm going to call out some people in Cup, shall we? We're going to go down the list. Windows and Lark were fine. They both got DNF'd early. Windows had to, because he just gave up. Because he couldn't do it. He could not. Unfortunately. And that seemed to be the case for a bunch of people. But, you know. It is what it is. Wicked stayed in the back too long, and then he died. DNF. Not much to say about it. Usually when you don't have a lot to say about somebody, it's good for the most part if they performed well. There's just nothing good to say about this guy. Charles, way too aggressive. Cup rookie. Pace yourself is like the big word I want to use. I'm gonna get people from my door, so if you hear any background noise, that's what that is. Baker's. He was getting pushed around a lot. You need to chill out. You cannot let yourself get too far ahead of things. Rainbow also was okay. Michi needed to chill the hell out. HP, to an extent, needed to chill out. There was a couple instances that wasn't necessarily his fault, but he was basically on the verge of getting a penalty. Silent was fine. David was mostly fine until like the second half of this race, and then bro went off the rails. Kaiden, I think a little bit more on the aggressive side, but mostly fine. Red, mostly fine. So basically like a fourth or third of the field. One of the two. I'll say a fourth, I guess, for simplicity's sake. Wait, no. It'd be a third. A third of the field was kind of cuckoo crazy. And they got penalties. Ichi got a 25-point penalty for wrecking HP on the last lap. And also being a bit of a menace. Bakers, Charles, and David all get 15-point penalties. and that's where that stands. I see some cars are doing laps around me as I go around. Some are anyway. Cars will seem to be louder. I have to edit the sound a little bit. But yeah, mostly just wildness. So I asked all of y'all to please calm down. Kyden brought up a good point that because of the field size, it kind of sets the tone for the race. And honestly, if I keep it to 10 car fields for every race, I don't think that paid it justice, because there's 15, I think, full-time cars, so 5 cars would miss. So yeah, it would reduce the craziness, but I don't think we can necessarily do that for every race. So until there's something wild going on, I think Cup mostly stays the same. Maybe the field will get reduced every so often for like larger tracks, but nothing major. Busch is the one series I can't do anything about, since there's 23 full-time entries every week, and limiting it to just 10, making 13 of them go home, plus the part-time entries is kind of, that's kind of insane. And for every weekend, anyway. I think Busch does a good enough job of not being stupidly crazy, because a lot of drivers don't try making dumb moves most of the time, anyway. Funny how it works. Alright, moving on to Busch, though, and away from this tab over here. We had someone win. Jonapon won the Busch Vegas race, all because he saved fuel, or calculated something, whoever knows. He was Mr. Fuel Guy, and the way it happened was super specific, because there was a certain caution that came out, which was basically on the cusp of the fuel run, which doesn't happen super often in DG, but it happens every so often, and he played his cards just right. If there was a time to gamble, it was to gamble in Vegas, and he made it work, and he ran out, I think, right after the trial. So that was pretty cool. Michi takes second. Not a bad day. Didn't get a whole lot of stage points, but still a good points day nonetheless. Sort of. I only say sort of because looking at it, he gains 25 points in Busch, only to lose all of it in a penalty in Cup. That's rough. David takes third. Got the most stage points as a part-time driver. You know, we could gloss over that. Third place finish. He probably would have had the race won. It didn't happen. So, it is what it is. Rory. Also, fourth place. Pretty good. Neptune takes fifth. Won the opening stage. Just kind of was in and around after that. Mr. Beast takes 6th place. Rainbow 7th, Wicked 8th, Curse 9th, Lincoln 10th, Monkey got Hobbs, and G actually died. The bottom two over here died in the Busch race. They're no longer dead because of what happened in the Cup race. I'll get to that in just a minute. But it's a pretty surprise performance from John. I didn't see him winning this season. I saw him doing well, but I didn't see him maybe winning a race. Now that he has, I think he's on everyone's radar. Like, oh my god, that's pretty wild. At least I would think he was supposed to be on everyone's radar. I would hope that would be the case. If not, I don't know. I think that's all I have to say about Busch for now. I think. Unless I'm missing something. No, Okay, on the Cup side of things, I already showed my frustration with Cup, but moving on, uh, it was DG car domination in terms of the stages. HP wins stage 1, Silent wins stage 2, Red takes the race victory. Silent gained a whole chunk of points that he didn't get in the Atlanta race because of his wild, gnarly flip. Finished 4th in today's race. Probably should have finished better if he didn't get wall snagged, but is what it is. Kaiden, second time in a row, will finish second. But again, he didn't really grab a lot of stage points, so the points he could have gained is kind of not as much as it could have been. David finished third. He said he was the fastest car at Vegas, and I believe that to an extent. I think he was the fastest car at points of the race. I don't think he was the fastest overall. I think that honor would probably go to Red or Silent. One of those two. They were more consistently up at the front than he was. And that can be attributed to David kind of being sent in the back a little, but Red and Silent, they powered through the field much quicker than David did, at least without damage. Michi 5th, HP in 5th. I would have had a decent finish, second or third, had Michi not tried to send it on the outside, costed HP probably second or third. Is what it is. Michi got sent to the last car in the lead lap because of that, and of course the penalty for 2 things. So he finishes in 6th. Rainbow, first car DNF in 7th. Bakers, Charles, Wicked, Larkins, Windows. So total of 5 cars DNFs this race out of 12 that were here. So that's pretty wild. Alright, for Busch points, Mr. Beast leads. Only 4 points over Rory. B-Rad didn't show up. Abstract didn't get any points from Monkey because Monkey died. So Abstract's in 4th. Jonapong, with that win, shoots his way up to 5th. And Michi would have been around 3rd, but because of that point penalty, he's down to 6th. So pretty rough for him. Then you see Neptune, Wicked, Corwolfia, Cole, NCG, and XLT are right around where they were before. Nothing too wild, I would say. And the reason why Monkey and SG aren't dead anymore is because Charles died at Vegas because he gave up. Because of his death and subsequent just giving up stuff. Charles, NCG, and Monkey are back for Phoenix, which is great for them. I can't say the same if that's great for... not really great for the Abstract. You probably would have wanted to see that at Atlanta, but it's usually the mile and a halves, and sometimes, in some cases, short treks that cause the most damage. God, this engine is blaring through my ears. Okay. In Cup side of things, Silent is now the points leader once again, taking it back from Lark, who finished is 2nd, HP 3rd, Kaiden 4th. Baker's only 10 points behind Kaiden in 5th, and Windows rounds out your top 6 in playoffs right now. David, with that point penalty, is now sitting outside the playoffs. Would have been 5th. Monkey is in 8th, Genesec 9th, Twisty's at 10th, Rainbow 11th. Charles gets himself on the board with 2 points. Would have been like 17, and Marshall is 13th. much else to talk about. There's Phoenix, which I guess we'll bring this up. And Carson the Death Hawk. Congratulations, I guess, on doing that. Saw a couple people decide to go up and do a lap, or a couple, or something like that. Get your engine noise out of here. Yeah, but a couple people doing practice and whatnot, which is fine, I guess. This thing over here. So, a little preview for the schemes for this weekend. Kirsch and Bakers have elected to try to add Phoenix to their part-time schedule in Bush. So that'll be interesting to see who makes it. Obviously, with a lot of practice, you can ensure your way in. But for those that don't practice, it's going to be a rude awakening when they are not good here. Let me see. We have Carnage already. Of course we do. Other than that, that is all from me. In terms of just podcast, it's a shorter one for sure. But other than just everything else, there's not really too much to talk about. Vegas Cup race was stupid. Busch race was interesting. Phoenix is going to be really weird, I feel like. Because there's no turn changer or whatnot. It's all just going to be what can you do on the racetrack, and how well can you do it. And it'll be very interesting to see how these guys do. They have a car in the death wall. 2 cars in the death wall and a car upside down, so that's going to go for some. And that's all. So, see ya.